Sorry folks, it's a little loud in here tonight. Hillbilly Dan here. We're gonna do a 48-inch backsplice on a 5/8 polyester rope. And in order to do this, you're gonna need your your 5/8 fid. You can get them on Amazon. They come in sets. You're gonna need a magic marker. You are going to need a pair of scissors. And you're gonna need some whipping twine, which you can use any kind of thread that's about yay thick, not too thick, about the size of a pencil lead, smaller maybe. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. First step, well, our first step is we put our tube shrink on for our labels, which is you can do that at home if you want to label your rope. But you always put that on before you do your splice. Give yourself, you want to slide it on down past 48 inches. Alright, now what's the next step on a backsplice? You want to measure from the edge of your tape 48 inches all the way down. And it's better to do it with a tape measure. Let me get that set back up right there. It's better to do it with a tape measure, but I'm gonna do it with this ruler, because I've already got my measurement set out. I've already got my measurement marked on this table, 48 inches from down here to the end of the table. But you'll need to use a tape measure or a ruler. Since I've already got mine measured out, I'll start at my mark down here to the edge of the table, and I'll put a dot right in the center of the rope. That's what I did. I measured 48 inches from my mark down here to the edge of the table down here. That's 48 inches. Makes it a little quicker for me, so I don't have to use my tape measure every time. And from time to time, I'll check my measurement to make sure it's true. But yeah, that's 48 inches. All right, next step, after you've measured 48 inches from your tape to the 48 inches down, you'll take your fid. All right. What you'll do is you start from here at the edge of your rope, and you'll go up 1 fid length. Back at it. 1 fid length. From there to there, you'll place your finger right there, and you'll go up. Put this edge here where your finger was. Alright. And you'll have a short mark. And I'll show you in a minute. And you'll put a dot right there where your short mark was. The short mark is right. Oh, they got this thing so beat up. can't even see it. There it is. Alright, that first mark there is your short mark. That's the mark you use. Alright, and up here where I made that mark, that's gonna be one of my like a bead. Like, I kind of mark both of them because that's where I'm gonna stick my feed, in between them two marks when I bury my feed. Alright, and all I did was I went one feed length up, and then a short mark. Alright, now it's very simple. So on the next step, where I got this, alright, I got that. I got both of them marked. I'm gonna count down on that first one. I'm gonna count down 1, 2, 3, 4. Put a mark. And on that second one, I'm gonna count down 1, 2, 3, 4. Put a mark. Alright. Now on this next one, I'm gonna count down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And put a mark. And what I'm doing here is I'm going 2, 2, 1. And every time I make that one mark, I go down 5 instead of 4. Alright, now when I go from 1 to 2, I go 4 marks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I put them on. Alright. I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Put that mark. Alright. So I'm going another 2. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Put them on. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I put them on. Alright, now, since alright, 2, 2, and I go to that 1, so I go 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put that mark. Alright, now, 2, 2, 1. So I go back to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put a mark. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, put them on. Alright, now I'm going 2, so I go 1, 2, 3, 4, put them on. 1, 2, 3, 4, put them on. Now 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, put them on. At the very end. And that's, you go as far as you can. And I'm gonna try to explain this to you a little better. So what they call this the 4-4-5 pattern. Because you go 2, 2, 1, which is 4, 4, 5, 4, 4, 5. 4, 4, 5. In other words, anytime you got 2 marks, you go down 4 spaces. Now, on your second set of 2 marks, you go down. Anytime you got to put a 1 mark, you go down 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, then you start over. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you put 2 marks. And alright, you're going back to 2 marks, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4 mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, and you start over. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 mark. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 mark. And then you got that 1 mark, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anytime you put 1, 2, 2, 1 all the way down. Anytime you put that 1 mark, it's gonna be 5 picks down. Alright, now, next step, where you need the scissors. Now you can use scissors, or you can use this little tool here. I don't like this little tool. Pulls the strands too far out. So what I use is the scissors. The way I do it, I stick my scissors up under there, and I cut it. And what we're doing is cutting these first 5 ones we got marked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna cut them first 5. And with polyester, it's pretty easy to cut. HMP, and it's not so easy. Alright, next step. Since you got them first 5 picks cut that you marked, them the first 5 picks that we marked. Them's the first 2 we marked with the measurement of 48. That's the first 2. Alright, that's the second 2, and that's that 5th one that we measured, the single one. So you start with that one. You pull them strands out. Make sure you got your garbage can. You should pull. Wait a minute. Yeah, I just messed up. I pulled the wrong string. See if I can fix that. See if I can. If you ever pull the wrong ones, kind of pull this back up, it'll go back into place. But anyway, and just cut that little bit off. Alright, this is the one I meant to pull. Alright, that won't hurt nothing. That'll just actually help the splice easier. Help it go down inside the rope easier. Alright. And that one, pull it out. Alright. Cut this little piece off here. Alright. Now once you got all that, you will need some rope cutters. Let me go grab those. Had to grab my hair I've had hid for a while. Sometimes you gotta hide your stuff around here. But anyway, cut this at a 45-degree angle. Yeah, this is dull. Get that cut at a 45-degree angle. Some tape. And you will need some electrical tape. I don't know if I told you that or not. Alright, now you're going to tape the end into a point so it'll fit down inside the fid. Like that. Like that. Alright, once you get it taped into a point like that, take the opening of your fid, stick it down inside there. Get it down in there nice and tight. Once you got it in there about like that, take you some tape. Tape it. So what you're going to do is you're going to tape it, you know, I tape mine pretty good because I don't like it to fall apart, you know, like this. Tape it up to almost the first mark. Like that right there. You know. Tape it down here a little bit. That way your fid don't fall out when you're burying it. These are 48-inch backsplices, so which means you got to bury them 4 feet. You got to bury this fid 4 feet into this rope. All right, now we're looking for our mark we made, 48-inch mark. Which will be right there. That's that first mark we made. Alright. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open that up like that right there. And when I do, take the tip of this fid and I'm going to go down in between there in the middle of the rope like that right there and go down like that right there. Just down inside the rope. Pull it up, push, pull, push, pull, push and pull. Just kind of push and pull all the way down the center of the rope here. See that rope? We're going to go all the way down this rope until that loop is buried inside here, which will be 48 inches. This is called a backsplice. They come in handy, especially if you got rope that you don't want to come unraveled. Maybe you're trying to make a handle for a dog leash or something. Maybe you're backsplicing it to run it through what do you call those? or pull, like they're running through a pulley. Or you're trying to rig it up. You know, trying to rig the end up to fit it through a certain hole. You know. Maybe you just want it backsplice. Just to look good. I'm getting there. Once you start getting close, you'll start seeing it look like that. That ain't it. That ain't done. So you just keep on pulling. When it gets stuck, now they'll get stuck like that right there. What I like to do when they get stuck is I'll take, you know, something like, if I ain't got my mallet, I'll use the end of this, kind of bang on the end a little bit, loosen it up. Yeah, I figured that was gonna happen. But anyway, I'm gonna have to do this over here. Alright. Once I banged on it some, got it loose, should be able to pull it right on through. I see this one's wanting to be stubborn. Yeah, there she goes. Alright, now, starting to look a little better. But, see that right there? We want that to go down too. Hit it again. All I'm doing is just smashing the end of it, so that way it'll loosen the end up, and I can pull it right on in there, like that. And that's what you're looking for. You want the end to be straight. Now, sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. Alright, now that I got that done, take and I pull all my slack this way, all the way down to where the fid is. And then my fid's still inside here, so what I'm doing, finding me a little spot for my fid to come out. Like that. Once I find me a spot for it to come out, where it ain't, you don't want it to catch no threads as you're pulling it out, because it'll tighten this up, it'll tighten one of these up. So what I'm doing is pulling that all the way out until I get to my last mark. cut it. When I see that last mark where I cut it the first time, I start cutting the rest of these marks that I made. So, start with my first set of marks. Cut that one. Cut that one. And as you see, it's still hooked to the fid. These are all the marks we made at the beginning. We measured with the fid, and the ones where we went 221, 221 all the way down. Cut all them marks. And what this does is it staggers the tail that's going to be buried inside the rope. So that way you don't have a big lump inside your backsplice. Because if you don't cut these and you pull this inside here, you're going to have a lump, and plus the splice won't hold as good as it would as if you did, cut them. Cutting these marks makes it act like a Chinese finger trap. Kind of like when you go to pull on it, it tightens up. Now if you didn't cut them marks, it'd pull right out, almost, pretty much. Yeah. Alright. Now, should be 2 more marks. Got that, or maybe 1, hold on. Let's see, where we at? Is there another one? Let's see. We'll find it. If there's only 1, nah, that means there's another one. Alright, so there's another marker we didn't get. And that'll be right. I can't find the mark. For some reason I can't find my, oh, there it is. Going blind. Alright. We're done with those. Alright. And what that did, staggered the tail. Now, when I pull this up, it's gonna pull that inside the rope like that. Start from the tip, pull all the slack down, all the way down. Top and the end of the splice right here. So that starts off small and it starts getting bigger until you get to the end. And that's what you want. You want it to be in like you want it to start off small and get bigger. Now, last step, you're gonna sew. You're gonna need a needle. I gotta get mine out. Alright. You're gonna need a little needle about yay big. And a piece of thread about doubled up about 10 inches, maybe. You might not even need that much. And this is just to sew it in place. Sews the backsplice in place. Thread your little needle. Get it even. Alright. First step on sewing. So we'll fix stuff like that at the end. You go down 3 picks. 1, 2, 3. Like that. Go all the way through straight. Leave yourself some slack. Leave yourself about that much slack. Hold it down. Alright. Go down. Hold on a minute. Go down 3 strands, 3 picks. Go straight back through. It'll look like that right there. So 3 strands. 3. Go to, 1, 2, 3. Alright. This time, instead of going straight through, you're gonna go at an angle, at a 45-degree angle. Always going in between here, in between there, every time. So you go through at a 45-degree angle, you come out right there. Just remember, don't go through straight that time. Go at a 45-degree angle. Now this time, you'll go back through straight. Always going in between there. At 3 picks down, go straight through. Pull tight. Go up now on this last one, you're gonna go at a 45-degree angle again. So always going in between. At a 45-degree angle, come back out where you started, which will be right there at these two tag end pieces. like that. Now, pull tight, twist that up. That'll be the last of it. Take your scissors. After you twist it up, cut it as close as you can to the rope. Once you cut it, you'll have a little end there. You'll take your lighter and burn that. Don't burn the rope, just melt the twine, but not the rope. It melts it in place. Alright, that's what it's looking like. Alright, in order to fix that little bit right there, take a heat gun, heat it up a little bit. Smush it in place. Alright. That's the backsplice. Last step really is to melt the label in place. End label, so you go about a foot down from the splice, use your heat gun, cut it on, melt that on there. Until you start seeing the glue come out. Cut that off. And you take your sticker. Little sticker. Put a little sticker on it. Always keep the numbers facing that way. Keep the numbers, the top of the number that way, the bottom that way. Put the clear coat on, melt the clear coat. Now this is just if you want to label it. You can label your own climbing rope. You can label your own any kind of rope you're using. You can do this to label your rope. Like say you're using rope to tie down, tie boats, boat tarps down, or tie, using it for anything, whatever. Maybe you scrap junk for a living. Use them ropes to tie your junk down. You can label your ropes with that. It's pretty neat. But that is a finished product. And what I'll do now is all the rope is on that reel there. I just reeled the first end, and it'll go through this counter right here, and then I'll reel it onto this empty reel here. Once I reel it onto that empty reel, I'll take it down, wrap it up with that stuff, and then I'll weigh it right there. and then I'll stack it over there to ship out. Because I think this rope ships out tomorrow, if I ain't badly mistaken. But yeah, old Hillbilly Dan, and that's how it works here at where I work. How's it work where you work? Anyway, I just thought I'd make a video, and y'all have a nice, hope y'all having a nice new year, and hope y'all's new year's starting off better than mine. So there we go. There you go. Big old Hillbilly Dan out of your hair. Have a nice day.